and simply, can everybody be on mute to start with?
What is it?
First rule of the housekeeping, keep on mute because we can hear everyone at the same time. So if you keep on mute, that's perfect. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rotarians, guests, and visiting Rotarians, welcome to the 39th Rotary meeting of the Rotary year 2020-2021. So before we start, I would like to remind you some housekeeping rules. So all participants will be muted during the presentations and talks. You can use a chat function to communicate with members. You can communicate with the group or to one person in particular. We will inform you all when it's time for Q&A. You can use the raise hand function on Zoom, or you can also ask questions in the chat function. Please ensure you registered with your full name, not a nickname, so we can count your attendance, and keep the video switched on all the time, so also for attendance. We remind you that this session is recorded for club promotion on social media. On this, and finally, please try not, in case you have specific arrangement for tonight, please don't come in and out of the meeting. President Dinesh, I hand it over to you.
Thank you, Sean. Very good evening, everyone. I would like to call the meeting to order. We already have 58, so we have fantastic attendance, number of visitors. Well, honorary members, Pak Mohan, Bhagwan, I have not seen him yet. I will past presidents, distinguished guests, fellow Rotarians, visiting Rotarians, prospective members. I am most pleased to warmly welcome you to the 39th Rotary meeting of this year. I would like to welcome visiting Rotarians, those whom I have seen on the screen. If I miss someone, please pardon me. President Takshing, Jurong Town, welcome. Past President Frankie Yong, Rotary Club of KL Diraja. Past President Wanda of Rotary Club of Bali. Past President Ronnie, RC Surabaya. Hazel Xiao, Rotarian. Past President Thomas. And Donna, you are here. You are Rotarians, but I do not know if you are past president or president. You are there. If I miss somebody, I warmly welcome everyone, all the visiting Rotarians. Great day today. I think that's our speaker have attracted you. I hope, I'm sure. Thank you very much to be with us. Our speaker will be here a little late, I think, that Divya Patel, and she will be speaking about the story of Ishk Tolaram Foundation. So may I now call upon past President Palita to raise the toast for Rotary Club of Bali together with Rotary International. PP Palita, please.
Okay. We wish we could say a toast to all the clubs, but you're so many, so we've selected Rotary Club of Bali. So to Rotary Club of Bali and to our most illustrious organization, Rotary International. Cheers.
Bali and
Rotary
International.
Bali and Rotary International.
Rotary International. Cheers.
So may I now
Cheers.
call upon past President Wanda to say a few words about her club. Past President Wanda, would you like to say something?
Can't see her.
Okay, let's move.
Okay, sorry. I can just mute now. So thank you very much. Just a few words. First of all, I would like to thank you, Rotary Club of Singapore, for helping us with the East Nusa Tenggara disaster. It means a lot to us, and we are still working up to now. Thank you very much thank you very much all, and also Ishk Tolaram Foundation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, PP1. Thank you. Okay, I will now like to share my screen. Right, may I call upon Honorary Secretary Bridget for club announcements.
Yes, thank you, President Dinesh. I have actually two announcements to make. One is tomorrow, Thursday, the 22nd of April, we have Rotarian Dr. Ganesh hosting the YSC meeting on Zoom, virtual, opening the session at 6:50 p.m. And then I do have a very special announcement to make. It is on the 24th of April. It's the birthday of our very own President Dinesh. Happy birthday.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
I have yet to, thank you, Bridget. I'm
welcome.
coming to the birthdays.
Yeah, but you cannot
Okay.
possibly announce your own, so therefore.
Now I know the reason why I was missing from the list.
Yes, surprise from Bernie and myself.
Happy birthday.
All right, so now we have Sean Lim on 24th April is my partner sharing the birthday. Sean, happy birthday, you are there. I know you are here. All right, please join me in wishing very, very happy birthday to all the celebrants. Matai, Ayu Rescue, Dr. Melvin Tan, Luis Andres, I think they are in Brazil, and Rotarian Sean Lim. Very happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Wedding anniversaries, best wishes to the celebrants again. Past President Dr. Winston and Julia, 21st of April, Louis and Camila, 23rd of April, Kivio and Somamia, 23rd of April. So I think, yeah, let's wish them very, very happy wedding anniversary, all three couples. I am really delighted here again to induct 3 new members. They will be joining our family, and this is very special because 2 of them are women members. First time this year, we have 2 members, Maria Kamal Afan, Leonard Ong Keng Young, and Pauline Teo Paulin. These 3 new members are being inducted today. May I now call upon Vice President Suresh Kirti to introduce new members. Suresh, please.
Thank you, President. And it's my pleasure once again to introduce the new candidates for induction for membership. I begin with, as he said, we're very happy we have 2 female members. Actually, it was 4, but 2 dropped out, but doesn't make. But we have welcomed the members. Iya Afan, she's an American, head of sales, LinkedIn in Asia Pacific, moved from US to look after the Southeast Asia office. She worked earlier with Levers and Clearside. She did work as a legal professional in the US, holds a bachelor's in arts, certificate in business management from Stanford. She studied French and architectural history from University of Paris Sorbonne, did several online courses on entrepreneurship. She cultivated the cultural competencies in LinkedIn. She's a volunteer in Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in US and was an athletic team head. She loves endurance sports, running, and family time. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you so much.
The next person is Leonard Keng Yong Ong. He's a Singaporean, a regional head HR in Walmart, including China and India operations, held senior positions in Highflex, Merck, Seagate, and GE, has a bachelor's in engineering from NTU, an MBA from University of Hull, and a master's in organizational behavior from University of London. Welcome, Renard.
Well,
And lastly, Pauline Teo, Singaporean, Pauline is the Executive Director of Value Investing College, Singapore, tries to empower women to take charge of their financial future. She holds a diploma in HRM from SIM, master's degree in instructional design and technology from NTU, several diplomas in business consulting and change management. She's also an author of a book, Value Investing for Women. Classification is Operation Management EdTech. For Leonard, it is classification Human Resource Management Retail. And for Ia, it's Sales Management, I think Professional Network. Welcome.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you, VP Suresh. Fellow Rotarians, it is my privilege and pleasure today to welcome into our membership Ms. Maria Carmela Afan Ia Afan, Ms. Pauline Teo, and Mr. Leonard Ong. The proposal have been reviewed in accordance with the constitution and bylaws of the club. Aya, as you would like to be known in the club, Pauline and Leonard, as now proceed, we now proceed to admit you into membership in the Rotary Club of Singapore. You have been chosen for membership in this club because your fellow members believe in you to be a leader in your field and have qualities which will allow you to carry out the work of a Rotarian. In electing you to membership, we are doing more than taking you into our fellowship. We are making you a trustee with us of Rotary's ideals. Knowing you to be a Rotarian, the world will henceforth judge Rotary by your conduct. Membership in Rotary is an honor and privilege, and every privilege has its corresponding obligations. You have agreed to accept the responsibilities attached to your membership in this club and to obey this club's constitution and bylaws. One of the special obligations of membership is regular attendance at the weekly meetings and the monthly service committee meetings and participation in club projects and activities. It is the primary method of fulfilling the principles of service and fellowship, and also a way by which you represent your vocation. Aya, Pauline, and Leonard, the ideal of Rotary is service. Our principal motto is service above self. And the object of this club and all Rotary clubs is to encourage and foster this ideal as basis of worthy enterprise. You are to share in this effort. For the rest of this Rotary year, I would be pleased if you would serve on Aya International Service Committee, and your mentor is past President Palita Thiru. Pauline, you will join the Community Service Committee, and your mentor is past President Stan Lowe. Leonard, you will join Vocational Service Committee. Your mentor is past President Mark Wang. You can join more than one committees. Your mentor will guide you, mentors will guide your assimilation through the service committees. Your classification, once again, I repeat, are Aya Sales Management, Professional Networks, Pauline Operations Management, Education Technology, Leonard Human Resource Management, Retail. As you represent a classification, it is your duty to tell us about your vocation and to bring the ideals of Rotary to your business and profession. And now, by the power vested in me as a president of the Rotary Club of Singapore, I declare you to be an active member of this Rotary Club. I will present you with a Rotary emblem and a packet of Rotary literature at a later date. I especially commend to your attention the object of Rotary and the four-way test which form the criteria for Rotarians in their daily lives. I also suggest that as you travel, you avail yourself of the extraordinary opportunity you will have to attend Rotary meetings and meet Rotarians throughout the world. This is another very rewarding benefit of your membership. Fellow Rotarians, I am happy to present to you Rotarians, Aya, Pauline, and Leonard, our newest members. Let us welcome all of them to the oldest Rotary Club in the district 3310, the Rotary Club of Singapore. Welcome to Rotary. We look forward to the enrichment of our lives as well as that of your own by association in this, the world's oldest, largest and finance service organization. Please, may I ask you to unmute yourself and give a welcome applause to all the 3 new members.
Congratulations.
Welcome, Ia.
Welcome all three of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I would now like to invite Rotarian Aya, Pauline, and Leonard to briefly address the club. Aya, please.
All right. Good evening, everyone. To the many I have not yet met, my name is Ia Afan. Ia is short for Maria, as is mentioned, prefer to go by Ia. I would like to say after a 4-month-long courtship with the Rotary Club of Singapore and through the relentless support and help of Suresh and Pralita, I am now here, very excited and grateful to be a part of this amazing club. I've heard so many wonderful things from past Rotarians, so feel very privileged to be here. As mentioned, I manage a regional sales team for LinkedIn here in Singapore, a recent transplant from the US, if you haven't picked up from my accent already, originally from California. Moving forward, if I can be of help to any of you, please do not hesitate to reach out, and definitely looking forward to learning more about the community and partnering with you all. And for anyone that asks, I will be updating my LinkedIn profile after this meeting tonight to proudly show off that I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Singapore. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Pauline, please.
Hello, everyone. Do I need to share screen? I've prepared some, can I share screen? Maybe you can
No.
a little bit more, right? Because some of you are probably quite visual person. So thank you very much for having me here. I'm currently the executive director of 8V Holdings, which is a listed company, and under which has a education arm that actually teaches people about financials, which I think is really important because I was one of the students as well. And I benefited a lot knowing how to do money management and do investment properly. And there is also a technology side, which in terms of more like an edutech that we are doing right now. I used to be a Rotary member when I was in NTU, and that has really impacted my life because I've also went into the international service as well as going into the different trips to Hong Kong to look at the different parts. We had a program, an exchange program with Hong Kong University at that point of time. And I learned so much from the Rotary Club, having to know to give back to the society. And that has actually put in a part in me until I think the COVID situation really have made me think about it and said, you know what, it's time, because I've been traveling a lot in the past 10 years, really have not thought of, in terms of giving back to the society in the form. So I said, I've got a friend who's in India. She has been participating in Rotary. So I was like, I have to do it this year. So this is where I reach out, and thank you, Suresh, for really inducted me and let me know how Rotary Club works, as well as Stan, who gave me the 2 hours briefing session and was really so beneficial. So I used to be a civil servant, and I also authored 2 books in how to actually do investing in a very layman way. So it is about, investing for women, because I want to empower women to start to take care of financial health. And also I write it for parents, because I realize, especially during this season, parents are the most stressful people, dealing with family as well as looking at the the world. A lot of things are changing, especially people in the age group of the 40s, 50s. So one of the key things is really to let them know about financials. But in the other professional side of me, I'm also a very active person. Okay, that's how I keep myself.
Thank you, Pauline. You have to be short. Yeah. We'll invite you on Kaifer.
Yeah.
When you can tell us all about you. Please be brief. And then we'll
thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, it's my turn. All right. I think thanks, President Dinesh, past presidents, and hello, fellow Rotarians. Well, definitely a privilege and honor to be a Rotarian. I recall about 2 months back, I did a Google search and made an inquiry, via our websites to ask about how to join Rotary as a member. And the next day, I get a chain of emails and WhatsApp message from VP Shures, very fast and furious emails and WhatsApp messages. Amazing speed from VP Shures. And this is followed by, a couple of meetings, a meeting in Conrad Centennial. I joined a number of Jolly Walker events and community services experience. I really enjoyed those friendships and conversation that I had, in all these events. I just want to thank those who have the chance to meet up with, VP Suresh, PP Mark Wang, PP Palita, President-elect Louis, and my fellow Jolly Walkers, Mukund, Vinit, and Sonila. Thanks to all of you. And of course, special thanks to Bridget and Bernie for making all the arrangement for this induction. Well, today's a very happy day for me, and I'm very glad to be part of the fellowship.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. All right, so I think I'll have to share my screen again. So here are now 3 new Rotarians. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much. Well, we'll have what's happening in brief. In the last week, we had community service, fellowship, and we'll also give you a little information on our global grant latest projects. Food from the Heart on Saturday, 17th of April 2021. We had our volunteer Rotarians and also Rotarians from other clubs distributing food to the beneficiaries in the 1 minute. Sorry, yeah. Okay, food products to the 59 households in the Block 4 North Bridge Road. And they have been doing it for last several months, and it continues. We had the Jolly Walker, our Leonard was speaking about. He was at the West Coast Park, and we had good fellowship and nice walk in this greenery you can see. And now, you all know that we have made records on number of global grants this year, and as well 102 global grants up till now. You all know the men behind these extraordinary work to get the approval of global grants. And approval means that we are carrying out a number of projects not in the region and beyond. So today we'll give you some information about the projects launched under global grants. And I'll call upon the person who is the man behind these global grants, our district Rotary Foundation Club Chair, past President, Dr. Shahul. Dr. Shahul, please.
Right. Thank you very much. Right. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank President Dinesh for giving me the opportunity to speak today. Just a quick brief, 5 to 10 minutes about the grants that's been approved recently, and how we'd like to thank some of our members and their foundation for helping us with it. Now, we'll go very quickly about what Global Grants is all about. Global Grants is a project with at least two Rotary clubs in 2 different countries, with a minimum amount of $30,000 US. And you have to be done under one of the 6 areas of focus, which I will not discuss right now, but basically it covers things like water and sanitation, health and disease prevention, and peace and conflict resolution, and so forth. So the latest project that we had approved is this project with the Rotary Club of Shanghai. It's a fairly nice big amount of 123,999. And this is in cooperation with RC Shanghai. Many thanks to Mark Wang, past President Mark Wang, who I'm sure is here today. Mark, thank you very much for the relationship that you've established with the China clubs. This is the 20th year that they are doing this project. So it's a very well-established project, and we are very happy to be a partner of it. Also, this also marked a beginning of a very good relationship with other Rotary clubs in China, including Rotary clubs in Suzhou, in Shenzhen, as well as in Beijing. Mark and I are working with the Rotary Club in Beijing to support one of the global grants done in Malaysia. So similarly, we also have similar projects going on. So you see these children here. These are Afghanistan children, which are being sponsored by one of our global grants with the Rotary Club in India, right? Another similar grant that is approved just happened to be the 100 and 101st grant. The 100 grant is a similar neonatal project for heart surgery as well. So this is for 65 pediatric surgery as well as specialized training. And this is with Rotary Club of Colombo West. One of the current president came to see us last year a couple of times, visited Singapore before the lockdown, and he introduced this project to us, and we were happy to be able to be partner, and this project was also approved. Now, a very, very special thanks to, I know some members of the Rotary Club Kuching Central is here. They are our solid partner club. Thomas, thank you very much for saying yes. So Rotary Club Kuching Central stepped in to be one of the partners for this project in Nigeria. So you see this cabin here. This is the cabin that are going to be installed in a rural area. And just last week, this project was actually launched in Nigeria itself. It's in Ogun State in Nigeria, not too far away from Lagos. So this gentleman here in the center, Dr. Femi Akudu, is a pediatrician. And we have very, very solid partners on the ground. And Dr. Akudu has been helping us, not only with this grant, but other grants as well, as far as the health issues are concerned. And we'd like to thank Ishk Tolaram Foundation for being one of the big sponsors for this grant. Now, I'll bring you to Indonesia now. So Indonesia, we've been doing quite a number of PCR tests, and actually 2 global grants. You see the number 201-4346, and the second one, which is a 211-7848. Each grant is close to $200,000 and is used to sponsor and purchase PCR tests for healthcare workers in Jakarta, in West Java. So you see our partner on the ground is past District Governor Eva. Eva is very strong with community work and Rotary, being a past governor and District Rotary Foundation chair. Again, very special thanks to Ishk Tolaram Foundation for supporting almost all our projects in Indonesia. Now we go to Philippines, our sister club, the Rotary Club of Kawayan in District 3770. This is a COVID-19 extraction machine that allows PCR tests to be delivered faster and more efficiently, so that the waiting time for the results of the test are not delayed unnecessarily. So this is the sister club and Rotary Club Kawayan, and many thanks to President nominee James Lee, who's our close contact with the Rotary Club Kawayan, and for making this happen. So this you see, this is not Tapan, but this is the district governor from District 3770, looking at the extractor machine. This machine costs almost 2 million pesos, which is equivalent to about $36,000 US. So the project is only to purchase 1 machine. Now, many thanks to our members who made this happen, our members from Brazil. Now, this is the project that Luis Andrade made happen before he left Singapore. This is a project again for COVID in Brazil. And as you can see, it was very well covered in the press. And I think International Service Director Varun has already shared this project with the International Service Committee. So you can see here, I also want to highlight the contribution of Huachao Foundation. Huachao Foundation is made possible by a member of the Rotary Club of Shanghai, Frank Yi. Frank called me one day and said, Shahul, any COVID-19 project, let me know. That's how dedicated and wonderful friends that we have all over the world. And we put this project together with the great support of Huachao Foundation from Shanghai. Now, this is another project in Bangladesh through the good work of our Rotarian Adnan. Adnan came to me one day and said that there's a big need for COVID-19 equipment, oxygen, and ventilators in Bangladesh. So this is the project that was done in Bangladesh with the Rotary Club at Chittagong Marine City and District 3282. This just happened this afternoon, the final delivery of the products for the Rotary Club, from the Rotary Club of Muar, Rotary Club of Kampung Glam, and Rotary Club Singapore. Rotary Club Kampung Glam stepped in as a partner for us, and Hospital Muar is the beneficiary for PPEs and ventilators. The PPEs were delivered earlier. These are some pictures. This happened just at 4 p.m. today. These ventilators that you see were delivered today, while the PPEs were delivered much earlier. Now we go to India. This is a project that was launched very early on in the early part of July last year. This is a COVID-19 project. And I'm putting this up because we received recognition from Rotary International.
Can't hear anything anymore.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes. Can I, sorry, Shahul, I just need to interrupt. Divya Patel just informed me that she has to leave by 8 p.m. to join a prayer. So can we, when you're finished, can we then basically invite Divya and then do Miha's Kaifa after that? Is that possible?
Right, this is my last slide. So thank you very much. This project was made possible by another foundation, Foundation YAL Saif Charity Trust, which is a family foundation of past President Mansur Hassan Bai. So that's all I have today for the projects that we are doing. And I hope that more of you will come together and help us so that we can do together more projects all together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shahul.
Very much.
I think all of you seen how we have responded to COVID-19. And you can see last week when Rotary International President-elect Shekhar Mehta was speaking, he mentioned Rotary Club of Singapore many times, and also the name of our past president, Dr. Shahul, being the man behind all the global grants throughout, I would say, throughout the region or throughout the world. Thank you, P.P. Shahul. Bridget, what you said you wanted to...
We said that our speaker, Ms. Divya Patel, has to leave by 8 p.m. to join a prayer, so she can't stay longer than 8 p.m. And I just learned that because, of course, normally, you know, we start earlier, but I understand, of course, the agenda today. So can I suggest that we invite Divya to speak now and then have Miha doing the Kaifa afterwards?
All right. So I think we'll go to the guest speaker. Today we have Ms. Divya Patel, Chief Operating Officer of Ishk Tolaram Foundation. The topic, the story of Ishk Tolaram Foundation. The Tolaram Foundation established by our honorary member, Pak Mohan Waswani. Today, I'm sure that you know how ITF is instrumental in carrying out so many global grant projects in the region as well as to Nigeria. And the foundation contributes $5,000 each to all our service committees to carry out projects each year. It will be most interesting to know about ITF, Ishk Tolaram Foundation. And may I ask now the Director, CSC Arena, to introduce our speaker, Divya Patel. Divya, thank you very much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you so much, President Dinesh, for inviting me today.
Thank you. Arena, please. Arena, you are muted. Arena, unmute, please.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Good evening to everyone. I would like to introduce you Divya Patel, who is our speaker for tonight. She is a Chief Operating Officer at the Ishk Tolaram Foundation. I communicated with Divya personally when we applied for musical concert project, and it was very smooth correspondence, discussion, and I felt very comfortable really to discuss all matters which is necessary when you apply for the grant. Yeah, thank you, Divya. She working with foundation. Divya oversees the foundation's programs. That is one part of your job, and also grants across all geographical area. Before she started to work with Ishk Tolaram Foundation, she worked for Ashoka, and I think that's where first time actually I met you. Yeah, she is she was responsible for regional partnerships and talent development. Before that, she also worked for corporates, and it was almost 10 years for IBM, both in London and also in Singapore. And she participated in setting the IBM First Innovation Center in Singapore. What she likes yoga, she likes reading, she likes fitness, theater, and what she is doing now, she's creating a small garden at the condominium where she lives. Very interesting hobbies, Divya. And now please welcome and give us some information how you work and about Ishk Tolaram Foundation.
Thank you, Arina. Thank you. And our speaker, Divya, please.
Firstly, thank you so much, Irina, for that very lovely introduction. And it's really nice to meet you, even though it's still over Zoom. I know we've, exchanged messages in the past. And similarly, Brigitte and also President Dinesh, I think we have interacted a lot over emails and on text messages. So it's absolutely lovely to be able to see faces to all the names that, I have been seeing for some time. So I do want to thank you once again for giving an opportunity for us to present a little bit about the foundation. And I think one of the reasons why we are also both very happy and honored to be doing this presentation is also because we ourselves have a very long association with Rotary. And also in the future, we see ourselves working very closely with Rotary on partnerships. But before I do go and share a bit more on that towards the end of my presentation, let me just give a little bit of background to the story behind the formation of the foundation, where all do we operate, and just in general, what is our philosophy around giving. So if you could just give me a minute, please, I will also just share some slides. Okay. So let me just start with the background of Ishk Tolaram Foundation. So the statement on the top is really our mission statement, and it is to provide access to quality education, healthcare, and skills trainings to underserved individuals in Indonesia, Nigeria, Singapore, and Estonia. Now, as you look at this geographical distribution, you might be wondering why we are spread around, 3 continents and 4 countries, which aren't also quite, other than Singapore and Indonesia, which aren't really either quite next to each other either. And the reason for that is, as some of you might know, our founder, Mr. Mohan Vaswani, when they started their business, they started in Indonesia. From there, the business grew to Singapore and Nigeria. And also, we have family members that have also expanded the business to Estonia. So one of the very important things in our own giving philosophy as an organization, when the foundation was established, was to give back to the communities that had also helped the organization and the family achieve success, and help the organization to be where it is today. So giving back to the communities and individuals who have supported us is something which is very, very important to us. And our vision is to enable individuals to improve their quality of life. So the word quality is actually extremely important for us in everything that we do. For us, it's not only about providing and supporting interventions, whether it's in education, whether it's in healthcare or in skills training, but it really is about what is the quality of these interventions, and are we actually, from a longer term perspective, improving the quality of life of the individuals that we support. And one of the things that we're working on this year actually is a comprehensive impact framework, which would be looking not just at the number of individuals that we are supporting or the type of support that would include, but it is going to actually start measuring from a longer term perspective, how is that having an impact on their quality of life as well. So the foundation itself was established in 2016, but the family has had a very, very strong history of philanthropy even before that, and giving has really always been an important part of the family's DNA. So even before we had the Ishk Tolaram Foundation, we had a foundation within the organization called Tolaram Foundation. But the name Ishk, as you would see from this slide, does have a very special meaning for us. And it is because for our chairman, Mr. Mohan Vaswani, the word actually is a combination of both his parents' names. So his mother's name was Ishwari and his father's name was Kanchand. So when we take ISH and add that with the K, that is the Ishk. And then of his grandfather, say Tolaram, after whom the business is also named. And Ishq also means love in Sindhi, in certain dialects of Hindi and Urdu. So love in whatever we do is also something which is very important for us. And perhaps for those of you who might have visited our website or have corresponded with us, you will see that our logo is also heart-shaped. So our giving is a giving that we would also like to believe we do with a lot of humility, with a lot of love, and with a lot of care. So it is quite important in our values and in our culture. So we look at making impact in 3 different ways. It is through programs, and I'll share a little bit more about this in future slides as well. So, we have our own programs that we have developed in-house and we run in-house ourselves. And this means that we have full-time staff that works and is dedicated to these programs. We also realize that, no matter how many people we employ, how many programs we create, the needs of the world are still so many. So in order to support that, we also provide grants to partner organizations to scale their impact. And increasingly, we are also looking at our own investments to see really making sure that everything is ESG compliant. We are not investing in activities or products that would society or to climate or to the environment in any which way. So even how we manage the investments of the foundation has a very strong responsibility element embedded within that. So in the long term, we want to, walk the talk in everything that we do at the foundation. So as I'd mentioned, one of the core pillars of our work is through our programs. And we design these programs to respond to needs, which are identified through community engagement and research. And then we collaborate sometimes with different partners, with external service vendors or with our own in-house team to execute them. We currently have 3 core programs. One is the LIM Center in Nigeria. The second one is our Skills Hub in Nigeria. The third one is an early childhood education program in Indonesia. And we'll be having a 4th one on eye care that will also be developing. And let me just share a little bit more about these different interventions as well. So the first one is the Ishq LIM Center, and this is a project that we have actually partnered with Rotary in the past, and we have been very grateful recipients of a global grant, which of course Dr. Shahul also has a lot more information on. But there have been global grants that we have been fortunate to receive, particularly for the LIM Center project. And for the LIM Center project, what we really do is we run through camps in rural communities, as well as through walk-in clinics in the 2 cities of Lagos and Port Harcourt, and we provide prosthetic limbs to those in need. The LIM Center was actually launched in 2009, so was a part of the Tolaram Foundation, but once the Ishq Tolaram Foundation was created, we have merged it within our foundation. Initially, we had been supporting only the Jaipur limb, which is from India, but we are now also increasingly looking at additional limbs. So we're looking at limbs for the hands, we're looking at mechanical limbs. We are also looking at improving the mobility of the Jaipur limb by adding in more components above knee, so that for people who are younger, it can actually really have a greater impact on their quality of life. As mentioned over here, we have 2 walk-in clinics at the moment, but we're looking to add a third one as well this year. On an average, we now do about 2,000 to 2,500 limbs per year. Before COVID, we had hit 2,500, but last year, unfortunately, because we were not able to do our mobile camps at the same scale as we could do in the past because of controlling the number of people, we did about 1,800, but this year onwards, we plan to do another 2,000, 2,500 limbs again per year. The other one is a program called IPAI, Ishk Peduli Anak Indonesia, through which we provide early childhood education to teachers. We did an extensive study again in Indonesia when we were launching this program in 2018 to see, what really are some of the gaps on the ground. And we found that in the education space, early childhood education is one. And within this, the fact that there aren't adequate teachers that are trained and have government certification was a key gap. So the number that you see over here is of 200 teachers that we had trained in about 2018 till early 2019, and this was a pilot. Since then, since last year, because of COVID, we actually moved this program online. And between November last year as well as March this year, we have trained another 600 teachers, and by the end of the year, we will train another 600. So this program is a program that we're scaling very, very quickly and looking at supporting at least 1,000 teachers a year through this program, and we will continue to scale it more as we reach out to more governments. We started with one government in Batu. By the end of this year, we hope to have worked with 5 local governments. And as we work with more local governments, we will also be able to influence their approach to embracing more child-centered pedagogies and having play-based as the center of the learning principles, which is something that we believe in very, very strongly. We're also building a mentorship program around this. So for all the teachers that are being trained, they are also being paired up with mentors to help them with implementing what they've learned in the training for about 6 months after. And then following this, we're also developing a peer-to-peer development network where, program participants will be able to come online as well and have peer-to-peer learning. So this is going to be one program that we're scaling quite aggressively. And similarly, the other program that we have is on skills training. So we provide vocational skills and training to youth in Nigeria. Again, this was a program which we started in 2018, but unfortunately last year because of COVID, we had to pause it because again, we could not risk it's again a lot of high contact, and in Nigeria, because of the gaps in access to internet and data and devices, we were not able to migrate this online. We have relaunched it now. And just in this year itself, we will be training at least another 300 students. But increasingly, we are also working now in partnerships with other foundations, and we're co-creating new programs with them as well. So again, the impact of this program will increase. So for this particular program, Ishk Skills Hub, and for the one that I mentioned earlier on the early childhood education program, we also do hope to submit a global grant to Rotary this year, and see whether there are some ways that we could also partner with your kind support on these 2 programs. The 4th program is also a program that we have been inspired greatly by Rotary. So we are in the process of building 2 eye clinics in Indonesia. Well, 1 eye clinic for sure, and perhaps a 2nd primary health clinic in Indonesia. So I think we have supported cataract surgeries in the past as the foundation, as well as the Indo Eye Care Hospital in Nigeria, which will also be working on eye care. So we do really see the benefits that having interventions in avoidable blindness can have on the quality of life of individuals, and how that can have a much longer term impact on them as well. So this is another project that we're in the process of finalizing, and hopefully we should have these clinics up and running by next year. And then in addition to this is just a sample of some of the grants that we provide. In Singapore, we do not run any of our own programs, and similarly in in Estonia, In both these countries, we are only supporting through grants, primarily in education and in skills development. But even in Indonesia and Nigeria, we do provide grants as well. And like I said, this is only a sample of some of the grants that we have provided in the last 2 years. And I just wanted to also just include one more slide on our, close relationship with Rotary as well. So we have been historically running a program, Help the Children in Indonesia, in partnership with Rotary members, where we provide students from very low income families with school supplies. Again, unfortunately, because COVID, this had to be paused last year. But we do also support in terms of global grants. I think President Dinesh, thank you so much for mentioning that there's $20,000 US dollars for all the service committees. So for every service committee, it's $5,000 US dollars each. And you can write to us for a request that you would like to fulfill within this service, within your own service communities. And we do try our best to turn them around as soon as possible. Irina, thank you for your feedback on that. But yes, for us, we're very, very keen to support, good work and the good intention. And on many occasions, we have partnered on service committee grants as well. So I did want to also just have a placeholder for this, just to remind everyone that this opportunity consistently exists with us. So please do leverage on that and do share any requests that you may have within this. And finally, of course, on a needs basis. So, in terms of a disaster relief or, last year when COVID happened, if there is a needs basis, then we are always open to requests from Rotary and support them on a needs basis as well. And then finally, I think I'd already mentioned this. So I think in terms of our investments, we are very intentional about using our assets for good. So we already, as I'd mentioned, in all the investments that we do for the foundation, we do make sure that we have an ESG lens to all of them. But increasingly, we are also looking at how can we also support more innovative financing products, for example, in development impact bonds or social impact bonds. How can we support more innovative funds, which are impact first? And how can we just really make sure that even in terms of the organizations and the institutions that we build relationships with, they are aligned with us in terms of our values when we're talking about external service providers. So this is quite core to us and how we operate. In terms of our impact, the foundation is still quite a young foundation. So over 3 years, we have, and the first year in 2018, a lot of our projects were actually pilot projects. But through our programs and through our grants, over 2019 and 2020, we have impacted around 31,000 lives. And this is a momentum that we will definitely be continuing to build on. And I think with every year, you will see us impacting more and more lives. And hopefully through this opportunity that we've been given, we are able to truly make a difference to all the communities and the individuals that we have an opportunity to serve. So I think with that, it just comes towards the end of my presentation, but I'm just more than happy to take a few questions in case there are any.
Thank you very much, Divya Patel. You have given excellent overview of Ishk Tolaram Foundation. And I would say really we are very proud to have our honorary member, Mohan Waswani, with us, who has done such a tremendous work in establishing this foundation. I think we should really thank him.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Thank you, President Dinesh.
Thank you. And Bridget, I think we can allow 2 questions as time is limited.
Yes,
and Divya is just a phone away.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's nothing in the chat. So is there any burning question from the audience?
Can I jump in? Bridget, Ranga here.
Yeah, Ranga, hi.
Hi, thank you, Divya. It was a wonderful presentation. A quick question on education part is, given the remote education, distance learning is becoming more paramount, is there an initiative to create an online delivery model, and especially markets which are underserved in Indonesia, given the smartphone access is there,
Sure.
even at the bottom end of the pyramid?
Sure. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that question. So one of the things is that our work, I think simply just to help us have some focus, and also because I think unfortunately we're still in a state in this world where needs still exceed resources for most development or philanthropic organizations. We really focus our work in certain select geographies that we have chosen where we also have a business footprint. So in Southeast Asia, it really is Indonesia and Singapore. And yes, I completely agree with you, on the issue around the access to devices. And it has been a bit varied in different countries. In Singapore, we've actually provided support in terms of access to devices for low-income families, as well as for low-income single mothers that need to work from home, during this period as well. Particularly during the lockdown last year, we did do work around, supporting that. In Indonesia, at this point, we are focusing on early childhood education, and within that, it's teachers training. So we've actually moved our entire training online. Where needed, we are also supporting the teachers with data. Because of the age group of the children, it's an age group where actually we do not want them to be overexposed to devices and to screen time as well. So that is an area we haven't gone into, but definitely, we are in conversations with certain nonprofits in Indonesia, which look at more primary and secondary students. So as we look at that, we are looking at, the need for being supported by technology as well.
Thank you.
You have time for one more. I'm just mindful of the time. It's 8:02 already. So, anyone?
Okay, and then I'll call upon Varun Gulati, our IC chair, to give vote of thanks. Varun, please.
Great. Thank you, President. And I'll make it quick. Thank you so much, Divya. Thanks so much for taking us through. Of course, all of these projects, a lot of them are very, very familiar to us. And I'm sure your face is also becoming more familiar to us. Of course, big shoes to fill in. When Divya moved in, I don't know if a lot of people remember, Sumitra Aswani was at that point in time taking care of Ishk, and those were quite big shoes to fill in for Divya. And I think she's doing fantastic and amazing work, and with family, and of course with the vision of Ishk. And in fact, we both are in Singapore, but our first time really met her, that was in Nigeria. So it took us a lot of maybe 10,000 miles to get to know each other well. But it was time well spent. And of course, I visited Nigeria. It was my first trip there. And then I visited the Nigeria project. And I've also visited the Indonesia projects of Ishk Tolaram, most of the projects that we've talked about. But along with me, I'm sure there are a lot of other Rotarians who have experienced especially the Indonesia project. And people who haven't, whenever they go there, whenever it's the first time visit, it's always an amazing trip to do. And also, I think in Ishk Tolaram, with the Ish and the K, and I think Auntie Kavita's name also comes there, right? With the K. So I guess the K is even more there. So we at ISC, of course, this year. Sorry. Okay. So we at ISC, we've also distributed over about 150,000 Singapore dollars this year, and have an impact of much more than 150 as we partnered with a lot of our partners. And you've seen the global grants that Dr. Shahul has told us. So thanks for enriching us with the various projects that Ishk does. We are so much aligned in terms of our vision that Rotary has, that Ishk has, and I hope we can do a lot of things together in future. Thanks for your support, and maybe we bring more smiles and spread happiness throughout the world. Thank you so much, Divya.
Thank you
so much, Varun. Greatly appreciated, and we look forward to our continued partnership with Rotary, and like you said, Varun, to doing some great work together in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Varun.
Thank you.
And, please unmute yourself and give a round of applause to Divya.
Thank you, Divya.
Thank
you, Divya.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I think I have to go back to the club meeting program, and right. Okay, something about the major project. I think you all know that we have a major project where we are supplying the kitchen equipment to Willing Hearts to increase their capacity to 2,000 meals per day. And we are raising funds. Thank you for your generosity of all the members who have contributed last week. We are at, we have raised 104,607. We will need little more than 50,000 to complete what we need. So please donate. And I would like every member of our club donates whatever the amount is, because this is the club's project. We would like everyone to participate. Thank you once again, those who have contributed, and we look forward. And we would like to close this by end of this month. There is another good news that we have made arrangements that whoever is donating your amount to the amount 250%, that means 2.5 times, will be tax deductible. So we are making arrangements through FRCS, Foundation of Rotary Clubs of Singapore, and that has been arranged. There is an administration fee, but I'm very happy to tell you that our past president, Lipke, would be donating equivalent amount to FRCS. He is not covering the admin fee, but he will cover by donation. So the amount you are donating, exactly same will go to Willing Heart. So this will give you, I'm sure some of you will be more comfortable and save some money by tax. So please be generous in your donations. Thank you very much. So again, about our physical meeting, next week will be a physical meeting at Conrad at the pavilion. The registration of the physical meeting is closed, and I'm really sorry that we had to say no to a couple of our members, and some are on the waiting list. But virtual meeting will be there, and it's open to members, no limit, and the meeting login passcode are same as every week. For those who join, it will open at 7:45. You can join earlier. In that way, I think you can join us, those who are in physical meeting, having dinner, and you can have a dinner at home together. Otherwise, please join after 7:45. Meeting starts at 8 o'clock. Well, we are back to Kaifer. Know your fellow Rotarian, and today our fellow Rotarian is Rotarian Miha Freibernick. Miha joined our club on 4th of December 2019. So he's quite a new Rotarian and has been very active in a number of our activities. He's head of Asia Risk Insight, Wood Mackenzie. I am very pleased to give you Rotarian Miha, please.
Thank you, President Dinesh. I'll just share my screen. Hopefully you can all see the map. So what I thought I would do as the club's only Slovenian member is to start by introducing the place that I come from. So here on the map, you can see that Slovenia is a very small country that's squeezed in between Italy, Austria, Hungary, and Croatia. It's a country in Europe. It is a member of the EU. It has a population of only 2 million. So it is significantly smaller than Singapore, at least in terms of population, although by size it is a bit larger. The capital city, which is where I'm from, is called Ljubljana. This is very picturesque here on the right. And obviously, I know, having discussed with a few of our club members, some club members have actually been to Slovenia and some of them know the country quite well. But for, I think, the vast majority of everyone on the line, I thought I'd sort of introduce like a couple of things that the country is known for. So for those of you who have children, you may have heard of My Talking Tom. It's a series of apps and now cartoons and a few other things that originated in Slovenia. Slovenia is also really famous for wine. The wine there is really good and certainly by Singaporean standards, very affordable. So the country has almost 2,000 wineries and produces 100 million liters of wine per year. So this is very much a kind of a national treasure of sorts and a very popular hobby. Everyone with a vineyard will have, will try to produce some wine. It's also a country where nature and biodiversity and sustainability are really, really big topics. I would say bordering on religion sometimes. So it's a very sort of clean country, lots of untouched nature. Sometimes we can take this to the extreme. So, if we compare this with, let's say, the sort of the rapid pace of development in Asia, I think if you're a fan of, places that haven't changed in 100 years, I would definitely recommend going to Slovenia because there's very few large skyscrapers, for example. So there's a few other things, but I think these three are sort of for anyone who's been there, I think quite recognizable. In terms of the Rotary clubs in the country, so there are currently 48. And the oldest one is the Rotary Club of Maribor, which is the second largest city. It's also where my dad's from. It was founded in November of 1930, but obviously then with World War II and sort of the change in the political system following World War II, actually all Rotary clubs were banned until 1990. And so there's been a really significant revival since 1990. But we would like to say there is a significant heritage that we can look back to. A little bit about myself now. I finished my undergraduate degree in international relations from the University of Ljubljana, but then sort of very quickly I started looking overseas and abroad. I have significant interest in international affairs, geopolitics, and security. Slovenia is a very small country, not really a big geopolitical player. So I knew I probably had to pursue my studies and my career abroad. So I finished my master's in international security at the University of Bristol in the UK. And over the past decade or so, I've either worked or studied in Slovenia, Denmark, Austria, Belgium, China, the US, the UK, and now Singapore. I realize I am exceptionally lucky. It has really been a very interesting journey. But obviously the highlight of the past 10 years was getting married to my wife, Wei Jun. We got married in Xi'an in China in 2018. And sort of my professional journey reflects my general life trajectory over the past few years. Sort of my interest in geopolitics, regional security, and very much so in Asia led me to kind of a variety of different roles, think tanks in Brussels, in Washington, DC, but I've really sort of settled into my current role. So since 2014, I've been working for Veris Maplecroft, which is a UK-based research and risk analytics company. For those of you who listened to my presentation last year, just before the circuit breaker, you would have learned about my work in a lot more detail. But among other things, we work with major multinationals to help identify and navigate significant risks, ranging from geopolitics to security and politics, but significantly and increasingly so as well. We're looking at climate change, energy transition, and obviously ESG, which does take up most of our time, I would say currently, and is an absolutely massive and upcoming sort of topic in Asia Pacific. I've been based with the company here in Singapore since 2018, managing our Asia Pacific research practice. My Rotary journey has been fairly short, as President Dinesh mentioned. I joined in 2019. I literally walked into a meeting off the street. I didn't know anyone at the club, but I had been thinking about joining for a long time before that. Ever since moving to Singapore, I said, okay, let's do it. Let's see how it looks like in practice. And you know, I really liked it sort of from the first meeting on. And I decided to join, and Shamin Waswani kindly agreed to be my sponsor. The big downside of me moving around so much over the past decade has been that I never really settled into one place for long enough to really feel that I'm in a place where I can devote a lot of time to volunteering and social activities. And sort of Singapore really is kind of the longest. I've been in Singapore the longest out of any place over the past decade. And so even before joining Rotary, my wife and I volunteered at Willing Hearts. So I know them quite well, but generally we haven't done much. My wife used to do actually a lot of volunteering back in China, but over the past few years, we just didn't. But I'm trying to be as active as I can within Rotary. So my designation is Energy Research. I'm currently serving as ISC Treasurer, and I'm also the second Deputy Chair in the CSC. I'm very much looking forward to my Rotary journey continuing, although it may slow down a bit over the next few months because my wife and I are expecting our firstborn exactly 1 month from now to the day. So I think I'll be quite busy and sleep deprived for a while, but once that initial phase is over and I catch up on some sleep, I'll rejoin as much as I can. And that's it.
Thank you, Rotarian Mia. I'm sure all our fellow Rotarians know more about you. And we know now we have fellow Rotarians who have got so much experience and knowledge, which is very relevant today. Thank you so much, and congratulations that you will be a dad very soon. Thank you, and thank you once again. All right, I think we are almost in time and coming to the end of this meeting, and we had a record attendance of 73. And I think I welcomed everybody. There were some spouses. Welcome if you are still there. And thank you, Miha. And next week, we have our meeting will be physical at Conrad, as you all know. And we have a speaker, Mr. Magnus Grimeland. He's founder and CEO of Entler. The topic is very interesting: technology for impact, enabling and investing in exceptional people. And I think we have this is all the startups who go through the Entler, and if they qualify, they get some grants from the government, if I'm being told. So it's going to be an interesting speech or interesting topic. So look forward to see you next week. And I think let me come to the gallery. All right. And I think with that, please continue for a fellowship for a few minutes, and I will call the meeting closed. Thank you very much once again for being in this meeting, spending your time, and thank you so much.